Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Gun Shop. Now, this is going to be a science/medicine video, and I'll make it as quick as possible because I find it interesting, almost conspiracy theory-like. Nonetheless, 2007, University of Alberta in Canada came up with a promising cancer, I don't know if you want to call it cure, or something that can be used to facilitate killing cancerous cells. And they used a compound called dichloroacetate. I'll give links to two articles that discuss it. One is actually the original article back in 2007, and the article basically says, you know, university finds potential or possible cure for cancer, yet no one's saying anything about it, which seems odd, but not really if you're a conspiracy theorist. The other thing is the actual clinical trials of that dichloroacetate. So they discovered it back in 2007, got no sort of media publicity on it, and then they went to human clinical trials, which concluded in 2010. The results were published in May 2010, so just last year, and a link to that is in the description of the video if you want to read it yourself. Just be warned, there's a lot of jibber-jabber in there, and it's quite extensive, so it's not exactly an exciting read. It's not meant for, you know, just, you know, your grade 6 to read and go, oh yeah, that's great, dichloroacetate, and look at all these findings and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to go into details. Nonetheless, what they found in the first human trials is incredibly promising. They basically found with this actual compound that after treating, and these were brain tumors, so we're not talking about just, you know, and not that any cancer is just like, well, that's just skin cancer, or that's just this cancer, but we're talking about brain tumors here. So these people are basically on life-threatening brain tumors. They get their chemo, but they were also treated with dichloroacetate. And what's happening is the cancer is going away, or at least stopping. It's not going anywhere. Even if there's remnants still there, it's not progressing anymore, and in many cases has actually receded. It's actually gone away. In 4 out of the 5 cases, the one individual died. It didn't say what he died of. I mean, he could have been at a point where it was so terminal that even after being treated, he was kind of done anyway. But we don't know, and I'm not saying that either because I can't find it. I'm trying to locate that, but 4 out of the 5 basically terminally ill patients with brain tumors were absolutely fine. So they're going on to the second human trial here. Now you gotta understand, when they find these cures, they don't, you know, it's not just like, hey, look, this works, let's put it out as a drug and it goes out everywhere. It takes years and years for clinical trials to make sure that it's safe, and they also want to see what long-term effects from it. So far, 0 effects from it. The dichloroacetate doesn't seem to have any sort of adverse reactions or, you know, effects on the human body. But here's where the conspiracy comes in. Why is it that a potential cure like this, that is showing incredible promise, everything on it, I mean, this is in medicine journals all over the place, but such a promising compound, and yet nobody's talking about it? And here's my thing. It's the same reason why solar power, hydropower, whatever it happens to be, environmentally friendly power is not brought into the spotlight. Electric cars are struggled for years and were squashed by oil-funded companies. It's like the oil industry controls that. Well, in this case here, pharmaceutical companies control this. And I'll tell you right now, the reason why, and number one, if you're a conspiracy, you like these theories, and it's not surprising. Pharmaceutical companies make billions of dollars on this. If this, indeed, this compound is actually a cure for cancer, here's why the pharmaceutical companies want this to be unknown. They don't even want it. As a matter of fact, I bet you that they'd want to destroy it. They'd want to make it so that, and tamper with results. I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist because here's what the problem is. The dichloroacetate compound is not patentable. Patentable, is that the word? You can't patent it. A lot of these drugs that these companies make, they patent so that no one else can make it, and then they make billions of dollars selling it. And that's what happens. But this particular compound is not only they can't patent it, but it's incredibly cheap. It's incredibly low cost, and it's available everywhere, and no pharmaceutical company can say, we've taken ownership of it, because it's widely available. It's a compound that's been out for years and years and years and has been used to treat, I can't even remember what it is, it's in the article, but they used it to treat other ailments, not even related to cancer, but for whatever reason they did studies with them. They're like, hey, this seems to be having favorable results on cancer. They concluded the first human trial results in 2010, in which 4 out of the 5 brain tumor-ridden patients were absolutely fine. Way more than fine. Nothing coming back. And they had to wait, I think it was 15 months after they did treatment. And there's no signs. If anything, it just keeps regressing back and back. And yet we hear nothing about it. Seems odd. Or does it seem odd? Since pharmaceutical companies are greedy little companies and they don't care what it is. We're talking about corporations. Anyway, that's just it. Who knows if that's the truth? And remember, this isn't necessarily a cure. I'm not saying that they did find the cure. What I'm saying is they found a compound that's incredibly cheap, can't be patented, and is showing favorable, more than favorable results. And we're going now into the second human trial, which means that it'll be hundreds of people getting this and taking a look at this. And yet we don't hear anything. Have you heard of this? Seems a little odd. Seems like something that corporate America would not want out of the bag. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Leave your comments below, rate the video, and remember, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Peace. Thousands of movies and TV shows stream directly from your PS3, Xbox 360, Wii, or PC computer. Click on the link in the description of the video for your free 1-month trial membership, courtesy of NextGen Tactics.